Hello, ones, and welcome to your full moon in Scorpio card reveal. This is Tracy from Inspired Chi, and we are dedicating this reading to healing. We have our healing candle to bring the intention in. And also, if you've ever been to any of the Inspired Chi retreats, especially in 2019, we have what we call a resurrection plant. It's also called the Rose of Jericho. And it comes from looking like a very dead tumbleweed and blooming again and again with just, bringing some life back and a renewal and a rebirth of sorts. So I thought that this was very timely to bloom the last one that I had when I moved. I was saving one. And with the state of the world right now and having that little bit of hope and rebirth and using this at this time with the energy of the full moon to let fall to the wayside what no longer serves us and to understand that we can really have a fresh new beginning even though the landscape has changed. So we're working with Queen of the Moon Oracle. Thank you, AJ, for my beautiful new deck. And also the Light Seers Tarot is what I'm reading you with. Okay. So when I divided the piles into three, I just divided the actual whole tarot deck into three. So you have your own pile here. And the Queen of Moon Oracle, you're getting nourishment, all of the things that you need in abundance, knowing that you have enough, feeling like you have everything that you need, figuring out what you no longer need, what might just be excess and waste and might just be heavy. I think this is a time where a lot of people are starting to see true colors of people around them in both very positive ways and very negative ways. So whatever type of person you generally are, if you're not going through a soul transformation, which many of us are at this time, you're either going to be, your kindness is going to be amplified or the other is going to be amplified. And with this full moon energy, I'm sure that you've seen that out and about with people who are some people are trying to do their very best here. Everyone has a bad day, but are trying to lead with righteousness and kindness and help. And then you have other people who are the shadow self of the world and of the universe coming into. And I don't know about you, but I feel, and I understand the energy of the full moon, more than enough. But I've been feeling this type of brazenness from the darker side that's really just been kind of coming out. And I think that at this point in time, while sometimes we should never really be shocked at what can happen in the world, and we just have to do our best to control what's within ourselves to control and in our environment to control. There definitely has been a stepping up of brazenness, and it's calling the light workers to step up and bring that kindness and joy into the world and that renewal. So nourishment, nourishing yourself and being able to nourish others, and gratitude, giving thanks for what is disguised as loss. And I don't mean the loss of lives in any way whatsoever. That will always be tragic. But the loss of what it used to be in your life, what the landscape used to look like, what the plans that you thought that you were making. And understand that this is an opportunity to really switch it up. And not knowing exactly how or what to do right now is perfectly okay. And that's what part of the message is today. As I was channeling this before I laid the cards out last night, my thought process was you cannot, and I think I said this in someone's reading last, maybe the new moon, you cannot exercise control over what is not yet in form. So trying to make decisions about your life, your career, while the landscape is still changing, not to say that you can't have goals or move towards something, but definitely move from your heart space for what you're moving towards. Because as the landscape changed, you might be in your mind trying to figure out what career, what life path is most important to you at this time. And maybe what you're meant to do hasn't even been invented yet, if that makes sense. Because this ever-changing landscape with everything that is happening, I keep saying the word landscape again and again, but really that's what it is, our new normal, so to speak. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of loss, yes, and a lot of stuff that we're going to have to go through as a world, as a planet, as souls, But on the other side of that is opportunities that you don't realize that are there yet because they haven't yet come into form in the physical world, but they are there energetically, if that makes sense. So that's what was channeling in the beginning of your reading. So we have Nourishment and Gratitude, the cards that we are pulling in from the beautiful Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. And then let's see what is in your stack of cards. So I'm feeling pulled to do 9 for you, kind of an overall theme, past, current energies, and what could be coming up. Again, the full moon is a time to release what no longer serves you. And as you see the true colors of people, both good and bad, I want you to kind of really eliminate what you no longer want as you move forward into what appears to be the unknown at this time, but it really can be almost anything that you want it to be if you come from your heart space. So whatever isn't serving you, whoever isn't serving you, old belief systems, people that maybe take advantage, and you'll see them. You'll see them because, you know, even people who wear masks can't hide their true selves when we are under this extreme duress. So, okay, yeah, that's the balance right there. Okay, Temperance, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Just laying this up a little bit. 8 of Swords, Page of Wands, 9 of Wands, and supporting incoming energies. 6 of Wands, 8 of Wands, and 6 of Swords. Okay, Wands, you have a lot of Wands here. Very fiery energy coming in. Action, action, action. Wanted to take action. And you might be changing some things in your world right now. Getting ready to act. And like I said, if there's a pause and you're not exactly sure how to particularly act, I don't want you to be, what's the word? Not dismayed. I can't think of the right word. Disenchanted, maybe? Because as we go through the sign of Scorpio, and happy birthday to my Scorpios if we're doing this full moon, not happy birthday to my Scorpios, but to my Scorpios, it's happy birthday to my Geminis, but to my Scorpios, you might be feeling the full moon energy here a little bit more emotionally and a little bit stronger. And the Scorpios are the keeper of secrets. So there might be more information coming to the surface that you don't have yet that will be helpful in moving forward. So while I feel like this pent-up energy of wanting to take action and kind of feeling stagnant and stuck, a lot of it's actually not mental, which is usually where your headspace is. So let's talk about Temperance. So we're coming in with the only major arcana we have here, and that is Temperance, in need of balancing of the light and dark, which has a lot to do with the channeled message that we were talking about. You will see that, and you'll see it within yourself. And a lot of times what you really, really dislike about somebody else, there's some element of it that you have either worked on in yourself, or you know that it's an issue within yourself. Maybe on a much smaller scale than maybe you're seeing out in the world. But when something triggers you, you really need to look at why. And I know a lot of people have been doing spiritual work lately, but there is such a thing as overload. Coming into the 10 of Pentacles, which was kind of like hitting the lottery. Feeling like all your ducks were in a row, feeling like you kind of knew what direction you were heading in, but the 10 is the end of a cycle. So lately, and this may not have anything to do with the state of the world right now, this might be going on something for you personally, something has changed, and I don't think that you were aware of the change coming. I think you got to a place where maybe it was a goal for you for a while or a wish for you, and it's not that you're not fulfilled. You're definitely grateful that it's here, but you find yourself like, okay, well, now what? What else? And there's no shame in wanting more as you move forward. But you are going to be starting over again, and in a way where you can rebuild. You're starting as a Page of Pentacles. So that kind of comes in as you're going to be starting something in a place where you're kind of like a newbie of sorts, okay? Either a new course of study or a new trade or something that you're doing that you really don't have the faintest clue what you're doing. You're excited about it. You're moving towards it. You're not sure exactly how to do it. And it kind of makes you feeling a little bit, not lost, but maybe unsure of yourself, unsteady, uncertain as you begin, but we all begin that way. So that's the energy coming in for you. Somehow I feel like you're really in your head about this, though. Where you're going to be out of it a lot quicker than you normally would, but the Eight of Swords is being trapped by your own thoughts and for it being a very mental experience to where you're not necessarily going through anything. You're just playing out all the scenarios of what could happen or why you can't do this or why you shouldn't do this. And you're going back and forth and back and forth. And it really is just wasting a lot of your mental energy because we're saying, okay, you have the Page of Pentacles, so you're ready to start something new. But next you also have the Page of Wands, which is an excited message of movement and action. So I feel like whatever was coming in for you, you kind of got to the end of it. You're starting again, over again, and not really knowing if that's what you want to do. You're being given an opportunity right now to change the course of things, and I feel like your confidence is a lot lower than it really should be, given your energy and your abilities and your capabilities. So the Nine of Wands is also coming in talking about perseverance. And the Nine of Wands is a little bit tricky because it gets to the point where you're really at the end and you are ready to turn back around thinking that you haven't fully thought this through, that maybe it's too hard, maybe you don't want to do it. But that's really kind of when you push through. Okay, the 10 ends the cycle. Okay, so you're feeling very overburdened at this time and really, really stressed out at this time. I feel like you had a good handle on it, but you're really struggling to get that balance right now, as many of us are, and there's no shame in that. But you are moving towards victory with the Six of Wands, being victorious over a situation. And for some of you, this could even mean being a little bit more in the spotlight, whether that's on the like official spotlight in a more, if it's a podcast, if it's something like on where you're in front of people giving speeches or meetings or running something, all eyes are going to be on you, but in a very positive way. Okay, and it's going to be coming in to where there will be movement. As much as the stagnation that has come in to kind of make you get all in your head about it, can I do it, can I finish it, the stagnation will stop. Okay, so you just have to hang in there a little bit longer because you have the Six of Swords moving out of troubled waters. Okay, so at this time it really looks like the person in your way is you. And it looks like it's a lot of mental anguish that doesn't need to be there. And not that you shouldn't weigh things out mentally and spiritually and all of that, but understanding that nourishing yourself and deciding exactly who you want in your environment and what you want to do, even if you're starting from scratch and having the confidence to do that, if your soul is being called, if your heart is being called to do something, you have to follow that where it leads. If it leads to a dead end, that's okay. Maybe there was something that you had to learn along the way or someone that you needed to meet. Don't question yourself too much. You have a lot of really good aspects here. So that is your full moon message. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it resonated for you. Take it as it resonated, whether it has to do with family, a relationship, a job, or career. And I hope everyone is just staying safe out there. Please try and stay as positive as possible. Cut yourself a little bit of slack when you do have those bad days. But know that as we move into this new landscape together, it's going to be a while. Get comfortable in it and do the best that you can to be part of the solution rather than the problem and have your own rebirth. Have a happy moon cycle.